Here we are, part 11, and I think I might have to make this a two-parter. I think this is going to be part 1 of part 11. This is such a crucial, important, memorable scene in the book. The big, emotional, climactic farewell at the end of Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Probably the biggest tear-jerking moment in the entire series. And of course, one consequence of the fact that I decided to go ahead and go through Dawn Treader chronologically is that here I am. I'm finally getting the chance to talk about this crucial scene, and it's been the movie's been in theaters for about 2.5 months now. Well, first off, here they go. They arrive there in the boat, and of course Caspian goes with them. That's a change from the book. But they get there, and Reepicheep says, "We have arrived," because of course we wouldn't know they had arrived if he didn't tell us. Of course. First off, let me just say, and this is this is something I could say again and again throughout this video, but I'm not going to. Let me just say it once right here. Visually, no real problems with this scene. Really spectacular. It's the most impressive scene in the entire movie as far as visuals. They did such a good job on that wave and the flat sand, and it really almost lives up to what I was sort of imagining when I read the book. The sound design is really amazing as well. You really feel the power of that wall of water. I like the reuse of the old score. So technically speaking, visuals and the sound design, no complaints here. That was really, I was actually kind of moved by the power of it. Not very many moments in the movie like that. Aslan and Reepicheep also look very good in this scene. I like the way Aslan's introduced, how the shadow comes into frame. That was really neat. And Aslan, they turn towards him, and Aslan says, "You have done well," because even Aslan knows that he didn't really do much at all in this journey. It was all the kids that did it all. That they destroyed Dark Island. It was Lucy who, saved them in Deathwater and Goldwater. Aslan just kind of sat back and watched it happen for the most part. He did on Dragon Eustace, but it was ultimately Eustace who destroyed, the mist, I guess. So Aslan knows quite well. Huge change from the book they've made. I like how, Lewis has some very vivid descriptions of what the World's End looked like, and mountains so big that you couldn't even see the tops of them. I think they probably took the best route here and make it so that you never quite see them. You just kind of see the tops of them. It's sort of a tease, There's no way showing them you could ever live up to what Lewis writes. So just tease the audience. You can just barely see the top of them over the edge of the water. I thought that was a good decision. So here we go. Now Aslan's basically giving them all the choice. Do you want to go to Aslan's country? Which is not a choice he gave them in the book. In the book, they go here, and they know that it's going to be Reepicheep. It's going to be Reepicheep who goes. And Reepicheep has to go in order to wake the three lords. In the movie, the three lords are already woken, so this is Aslan's country is basically just sort of a pit stop. Oh, we're here, we might as well keep going. Here, all of them kind of have to make a decision about do they want to go on. And first off, it's Caspian, and this whole thing here caught me completely off guard. When he walks up there and he's like, "Do you want to go see your father?" And everything. It was something that even calling it underdeveloped, I think, would be giving it too much credit. It was mentioned once or twice. This whole thing about Caspian wants to live up to, he's worried about his father would have been disappointed with him or something. I think I would be nice to say it was hinted at. They mentioned it once or twice. Now we're going to have a rare moment in the film where we actually slow down for a second and emphasize something. Imagine that. And I was kind of watching going, wait, what's he doing? He might want to see his father, Not developed at all, just kind of thrown in there. And then as if that's not bad enough, he comes back, and again, Bob and Larry coming out, and another one of my pet peeves about movies is when characters just tell you what they learned, because the filmmakers evidently feel it didn't come through in the story, so we have to tell you. What was the point of even going through that whole story then? What was the point of Caspian's whole journey if you have to just tell me what it was? Like Peter in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Peter never has to say what he learned in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or never has to explain his arc or development in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It comes through perfectly in the movie. Here, the filmmakers evidently felt that Caspian's journey didn't come through, and they were completely right. His whole journey deciding, I must be a better king, doesn't come through at all. So they have to tell you at the end. It makes it lose all of its power. He says, "I promise to be a better king," and there's definitely room for improvement there in this movie. As I pointed out, Caspian has made some really boneheaded decisions on this voyage. But really cool visual when he goes up to the water and puts his hand in the water. That's neat. But all in all, the whole Caspian father thing really caught me off guard. Didn't see it coming at all. Then we have Reepicheep. Reepicheep is sort of I've called him repeatedly the heart and soul of Voyage of the Dawn Treader. He's sort of the emotional backbone of Dawn Treader. His longing for the World's End and Aslan's country. Had a whole video talking about how he would give his life just for one glimpse of the world's end. It's something that is established and emphasized and developed throughout the Dawn Treader book. Some fans would even argue Reepicheep is the protagonist in Dawn Treader. Crucially important character. In the movie, he's basically been reduced to comic relief, a little more than that. But Reepicheep's longing for Aslan's country and the world's end, which is such an important part of the book, here at the end of the movie, finally, for the first time in the movie, we finally say that Reepicheep has been wanting to go to Aslan's country for his whole life. Here he says, I've been longing for your country as long as I can remember. Why they waited until the end of the movie to say this, I cannot fathom. In the book, they set it up in chapter 2 and develop it and develop it and develop it, and finally he gets there at the end. Here, it's just, oh yeah, by the way, I would love to go to your country. Okay, let's go. Bang, he's there. The emotional power of it is lost. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. It's poor adaptation and just poor storytelling, poor characterization. It's poor everything. I don't know what they were thinking. And Aslan says, my country was made for noble hearts. That's certainly not an idea that's in the book. Reepicheep chose to go. He wanted to go to Aslan's country. Now you've been proven worthy. And of course like I said, the whole idea in the book of Reepicheep having, in the book, when they go to the world's end, they know it's going to be Reepicheep. There is never for a second any doubt we're going there and Reepicheep is going to go. No one ever doubts that for a second. Here, because in the movie they never really established how bad Reepicheep wants to go to Aslan's country. They briefly mentioned, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to go there, towards the beginning, but nowhere near what it is in the book. So they have to have this scene where he talks about where they, oh yeah, it should be Reepicheep, and they say, oh yeah, you deserve to go, Reepicheep. They have to have this whole thing where they talk about, oh yeah, it should be Reepicheep who goes, because they haven't set it up at all throughout the movie. So this crucial part of the book, the backbone of the book, I think, thematically and emotionally, Reepicheep's longing is sort of a throwaway moment, and that's it in the movie. Was it that the filmmakers just didn't understand or didn't care? I don't know. There's a nice moment that was in the book of Lucy cuddling Reepicheep, and I think that works well. I think you almost feel like, because in the Prince Caspian movie, when Lucy, oh my gosh, she's so cute, and Reepicheep's like, who said that? Then having him cuddle him here, I think it works, just about as well as it does in the book. And the animation looked great. I really believed that Georgie Henley was holding. She was probably just holding a blue bag or something, and it really felt real, the contact. For some reason, Eustace starts crying. I was also completely caught off guard by that. I mean, I know that, yeah, they kind of had a thing going. They kind of had a bit of a bond there. But seeing Eustace break down crying, like, how could I not see you again? I didn't buy it at all, that he would be that emotionally affected by leaving this mouse friend he knew for, a couple weeks, I guess. I didn't buy it at all. That was incredibly cheesy. Then Reepicheep and his sword, which is a moment that I have mentioned several times. I've talked about how Reepicheep, this character who's all about fighting, lives and dies by his sword, To see him throw it away is an incredibly powerful character moment. And the way Lewis writes it is very dramatic. In the movie, Reepicheep is crawling along, on all fours, by the way. I never like seeing Reepicheep crawl on all fours. It just kind of bothers me. But he sticks his sword in the ground. He's like, well, don't need this anymore. Moving on. Again, that's really the whole movie, is everything that is so important in the book just kind of in the movie. And I don't know if the filmmakers just didn't care. They just wanted to make their own commercially viable fantasy movie, and they just didn't care, or if they just had no clue. It's one of those things where I think they know what's in the book, but they don't know why it's there. They don't really understand the point of it. Reepicheep goes on, and conveniently enough, there is a boat just his size, his little coracle, waiting there for him. That was totally random and out of nowhere. Really bizarre. Oh yeah, his coracle just so happens to be there. Totally confusing. So then Reepicheep gets up and leaves, and that's it. He's gone. Finally, here we are. Edmund and Lucy. They have to say goodbye. This is the big crucial moment we've really all been waiting for. And in order to understand why they got the scene wrong, let me first talk about what it is in the book. In the book, Aslan, first the kids expect that they assume they're going to be coming back to Narnia. Then Aslan breaks their heart. They're devastated. Aslan says, "No, you're not coming back to Narnia." And the book, the reaction is, "Oh, Aslan," they say. Aslan is italicized, and there's 2 exclamation points. Lewis wasn't kidding around, really wanted to emphasize how devastated they were. They're not coming back. Think about it from their point of view. They've come thousands of miles, across the ocean, across the water. Then they come this close to Aslan's country, only to have Aslan say, "No further. You're not coming back." They're devastated. And apart from the fact that Lewis has been developing this whole thing, and Lewis is the story of Dawn Treader is at a more leisurely pace. The book. So we have time to be with these characters and really care about them. The movie just rushes through the story, so you don't really have any time to have any kind of emotional connection, so you don't really feel as much at the end when they say goodbye. Apart from that, this scene works because first Aslan breaks their hearts. They're devastated. We're never coming back to Narnia. But then Aslan gives them hope. He says, "No, there I have another name. I'm in your world too. This isn't necessarily goodbye." Lucy says, "It's you. It's knowing you. How can we live without knowing you?" And Aslan's like, "No, there I have another name. I'm in your world too." The kids fully expect to return to Narnia. Aslan devastates them, breaks their hearts, and says, "No, you're not coming back." Then he brings them back up and says, "No, there I have another name." Emotionally speaking, that is why the line, "There I have another name," is so powerful. It's like, wait, there's hope. This isn't necessarily goodbye. In the movie, let's talk about my first point, the fact that in the book, the children are shocked to find out that they're not coming back to Narnia. In the movie, they fully expect it. I think it's Lucy who says, "This is our last time here, isn't it?"
This is our last time here, isn't it?
Yes.
Edmund's like, "Yeah, we're too old. Let's move on. Let's go." How? It's the opposite of the book. In the book, they were shocked to learn they weren't coming back to Narnia. As a reader, we're going, no! It's so devastating. It's so sad. Then you feel some hope when Aslan says, "No, I'm in your world too." But in the movie, Lucy's like, "This is our last time here, isn't it?" They fully expect it. And then, of course, the Aslan moments from the book, not here at all, because they don't feel devastated. They don't really seem all that upset. Lucy cries and all that, but they're like, "Yeah, this is the way it is. Let's go." For some reason, Edmund just, they had this sort of very weak attempt at a character arc where, in the spare bedroom towards the beginning, Edmund was saying, the family doesn't need us anymore. We're the youngest. And here, for some reason, Edmund decides, yes, they do need us. I have no idea why Edmund made the decision that actually the family does need them. If you know why, post a comment here. Where is the scene where Edmund learns this? He just for no reason changes his mind. I was so confused about that. But the line, "There I have another name," when we first heard that was going to be in the movie, of course I was relieved.
In your world, I have another name.
But I'm not sure how excited I am it was in the movie, because the thing that makes it powerful in the first place is not in the movie. The book, Aslan devastates them, and then he says, "No, there I have another name," and brings them back up, gives them hope. Because they're never devastated in the movie, the fact that he says, "There I have another name," isn't all that powerful, because it's like, oh, okay, well, we were totally fine with never seeing you again, but okay, we will see you. Okay, because they don't have the emotional devastation, when he brings them back up, it's not, or when he says they're having a name, it's not that powerful. He can't bring them back up because they're never down in the first place. This all sounds very complicated, but I'm just saying that, understand the essence of what I'm saying. The line, "There I have another name," doesn't have the same power. So how excited should I be about the fact that the line, "There I have another name," is in there, when the thing that makes it so powerful is not in the movie? That was really, really disappointing. It's sort of the filmmakers, I think, understanding that the fact that the line was in there, that it was important, but not really understanding why it's so emotional, why it's so powerful. So that was incredibly disappointing. I was excited when I heard the line was going to be in there, but then I saw it. It was like, but it didn't do anything for me at all. They completely missed the point of it.